In this tutorial, we're going to look at how we can actually add images to our web page. So currently we're looking at trying to create a website that may look like this by the time we finish, with a few extra things as we go along. But currently we're starting from a previous tutorial on HTML semantics, and we're going to have a structure such as this, where we've got our head, our nav, our main, and our footer. So we're trying to keep it fairly simple as we go along and build our website. Now I'm using Visual Studio Code. If you look around my YouTube channel, you'll be able to find tutorials on how to use this program and how to set it up, etc. You can see that I'm in a split view at the moment with an index.html and CSS. And what I'd like to do is actually put this logo that we created in Photoshop into my web page. The idea is it's going to actually fit in the header section and will appear up in this little part here. So let's get underway. Now to add an image, we need to find the container that it lives in. So we know it's going in the header, so it will be in this section here. To add an image, we've got to use the IMG tag, which stands for image. You notice that Emmet puts in src equals quote quote. The src is for source. In the two quotes here, we can actually put the path. Now you notice that my image has been saved in a subsection. So therefore I need to put the folder in first, which is image or images, and then go /, and then it will give me all the graphics I can pick from. So in this case here, it's logo music. And I'm just going to hit save. And then when you look at my page, you can see it's actually created. So that will actually put our image on our page. So I'm just going to close the file section now. And what I'd like to do is move this into the middle of our page. So how can I do that? Well, I know that it's actually in the header section. So if I go to my CSS, I can look at the header. And we know that HTML is a hypertext markup language, and therefore it treats the image at the moment as text. And when your browser downloads the page, it uses what's called a HTTP protocol, which is a session protocol. Therefore, it gets the index.html, comes back, and then has a link and goes, oh, you need a style sheet called site.css. It heads off and brings that back. And as it goes through, it gets to here and goes, oh, you also want an image. So it goes off and finds the image from the server and comes back. And it all does it in one session until the whole page has been loaded, and then it closes the session to the server. Now we know that it's in the header, and we know it's hypertext markup, so it actually treats it like text. So what we need to do is go text, and we can then go align, and we can tell it to be center. I'll just save that, and you can now see that the image has been put in the middle. We also see that the background now is blue, and eventually we don't want a blue background, so I'm going to just turn off the sky blue. To do that, I'm just going to highlight it. If I hold down the command and push the /, which is next to the shift key on the right hand side, it then comments it out in my CSS. You notice it uses the correct /**. If I did the same command / again, it'll actually remove those brackets, so that's easy to turn on and off. And I can do the same in HTML, and it puts the sharp bracket and the exclamation mark and the 2 dashes for us. So it's a really useful tool. Now once we've done that, I can save this. When I check it, you can see now it's got a grey background. The reason why it's got a grey background is up in my container, you see the background's actually set to grey here. So my container, which encompasses everything, so div ID container and the closed container down here, everything inside of that will have a grey background if it's transparent or doesn't have one. If I want to change the size of the graphic, I can come in and add what's called an inline style. So I could actually say the style equals width 500 pixels and a height of 600 pixels. So if I save that and have a look at my graphic now, you can see that it takes up most of the screen. And also because the original 100 by 100 pixel image has now been stretched. So if we want to change that to something like 150 and 150, it's a good idea to export your graphic as that size. And when I save that image now, you can see that it bleeds into the nav area, but is rather effective. Now we can also set that as a style, but we'll come back and correct the inlines later. The reason why you don't really want to use inline styles is that if I need to change it on every page, or it's a new logo and I need to substitute it, then I have to come in and change all the widths and the heights, which could be quite a time-consuming process over multiple pages. So I hope you found this tutorial useful on how to add images to your web page. If you did, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.